So when you start getting sales appointments, you'll find that there are three main types of sales appointments that you can get in your business. So first of all, you have the hot appointments. These are with prospects that already know what it is that you sell. They're highly motivated to buy, and pretty much as long as you don't mess anything up on this appointment, they should buy. They're pretty much already closed before they actually speak to you. They can afford what it is that you sell, they want to actually buy what you sell, and they're ready to buy. They just want to actually speak to someone, maybe because they have a few questions first, or just to see if you're actually real and legitimate. But these people are already 90% of the time going to buy what you sell. So these are the best types of sales appointments that you can get. And then you have the warm appointments. These are with people that are pretty interested in what it is that you do, but they still maybe need a little bit more convincing, or maybe they have a few sales objections, or maybe they have a few questions that they're not 100% sure about right now. And these are the people that you'd need to speak to and put in a little bit more work to actually convert into a sale, but they're still pretty interested in what it is that you do. And then finally, you have the cold appointments. These are with prospects that are just not really that interested at all in what it is that you do, and why they actually book a sales appointment with you in the first place. If they're not really that interested, I don't know. But these are people that are pretty much most of the time just going to waste your time. They're not really serious about buying anything. And these are the kind of appointments that you really want to avoid as best as you can. And something that I've been working on for many years now is how do you actually get more of the warm, or even better, the hot sales appointments instead of the cold appointments? So how can you in your business get more warm and hot sales appointments? And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. Now, to actually show you how to get the higher quality sales appointments, the hot sales appointments, those that are already interested in what it is that you do and they already want to buy what it is that you sell, I thought it would be good to go through each of the different types of appointments one by one, so you can see what kind of work that you do will result in what kind of outcome that you get, depending on what kind of sales appointment that you're looking to get. Now, obviously, most people watching this video, like I mentioned, want to get higher quality appointments. But understanding how you get cold appointments is also good, because that will tell you what it is that you need to actually avoid and not do if you want to make sure you don't get any of the cold sales appointments. So in this video, let's go through one by one how you can get cold, warm, and then finally hot sales appointments for your business. So let's start with cold appointments. Now, whenever I hear someone is getting cold appointments in their business, usually this is the type of marketing that they're doing. They're normally speaking or reaching out to people that are potential clients, and they're either showing them an advertisement online, or they're sending them some sort of message. It could be a cold email, could be a LinkedIn direct message or something like that, where they're asking this person to jump on a 15-minute or a 30-minute call, or to jump on some sort of call with this person to see if they're interested in solving a problem that this potential client has. So a quick example of how this would work, maybe someone sends someone else a message on LinkedIn that says, "Hey, business owner, I help people solve this problem. Would you like to speak for about 15 to 30 minutes to see if I can help you solve this problem as well?" And obviously this is a really simple and basic example, but hopefully you can see the idea behind what generates these cold appointments. You're getting appointments with people that haven't really been pre-qualified. You don't even know if you can genuinely help them. You don't even know if you're going to be a good fit or not. And a lot of the time, it's either going to waste your time, or it's going to waste the prospect's time, or it's going to waste both of the people's time on this call. So it's not really a great idea to do this kind of marketing unless your goal is just to get as many appointments as you can and you do not care about the quality. And then it's just a bit of a numbers game, but you will be having a lot of appointments with people that are just not interested. And that is also going to waste a lot of your time. And in my opinion, I don't think it's worth having appointments with people that are just going to waste your time. Now, the big problem with using this approach in your marketing is that psychologically you are chasing the lead. You are chasing the prospect to get an appointment. And this is a problem because they have the upper hand and you're the one that wants to work with them rather than them being the one that actually wants to work with you. And it's a very different dynamic, and it's a very different conversation speaking with someone where you are the one chasing them. And that's another reason why when you have appointments with these kinds of people, because you're the one that has been chasing them for an appointment, you're the one that's actually going to have to be really selling to them to try and get them to understand the value that you can bring them. And even if you can genuinely provide them with a lot of value, they're still going to be really skeptical because you're the one that has been chasing them for an appointment. So they are going to think that you're just after their money. That's all you really want. And even though that might not be true, and I know it's not true for a lot of people doing this strategy, this is still how it's perceived from the other end, from someone that's receiving these messages or seeing these ads. It's a very difficult way to get people to actually want to work with you because you're the one chasing them instead of them chasing to work with you. So how do you change the dynamics? How do you get people chasing to work with you and chasing to have an appointment with you instead? So this is where we now move on to getting warm appointments. And to get warm appointments, what you need to do is you need to provide people with some sort of free educational content first, okay? Before they actually speak to you, you need to provide value to them in the form of some kind of free educational content. Now, I want you to just stop and think about this for a second. If you provide value to someone first before they book an appointment, so let's just say you show them how you can solve a big problem that they have, and you actually show them how to solve this problem. You don't have to go into a lot of detail or anything like that, but you give them an overview of a strategy or a process that they can follow to solve a big, painful problem that they have. If you actually do that and show them and demonstrate to them that you have the expertise to actually help them, when they then book an appointment with you, do you think it's going to be a better quality prospect versus someone that hasn't consumed any content and hasn't actually seen how you can actually help them? Well, of course, logically, you are going to be building up a lot more trust with people that consume content first before actually having an appointment with you. So how do you build up this trust? What kind of content do you send them? Well, you can use pretty much any educational content that you like, but I highly recommend a video sales letter. That's the strategy that I use, and that's the strategy that my clients use as well in order to build up trust first before getting an appointment with someone. So if you'd like to learn more about how to create this video sales letter, I'm going to add a link in the description below this video where you can learn about how to create a video sales letter, and that video goes into how to do all of that in a lot more detail. But once you have a video sales letter and a way to build up trust, what happens is you can then get people chasing to work with you because people watch the video, and if they like what they see in the video and the video actually explains how you can help solve a big, painful problem that they have, then if they actually want your help to get this problem solved, they are the ones that are then going to click on a button to schedule an appointment with you after watching that video. And that completely changes the dynamics of the conversation because now, instead of you chasing to work with them, they are chasing to work with you. So in your ads or your marketing messages or whatever you're doing to generate leads and appointments right now, just make that one little tweak in your strategy. Instead of saying to people, hey, do you want to jump on a quick call? Say to people, hey, do you want to see a video that goes through how you can solve XYZ problem? And this will actually get you a better result because people are not going to be pressured into having a call with you if they don't even know if you can really help them or not. And secondly, you're going to get higher quality appointments as well because people will actually be able to see how you solve that problem in that video first. And then if they want your help, like I said, they can click on that button and have an appointment with you. Now, as great as getting warm appointments is, you can still take this strategy to one step further and get even more higher quality appointments. This is where we move on to how to get hot sales appointments. People that already want to buy what it is that you sell before you actually speak to them. Okay, so how do you do that? Now, before I tell you how you do that, I just want to make it clear that I only recommend this next strategy if you are already getting a lot of appointments. So if you're already getting lots and lots of appointments and you're looking for a way to kind of filter people out and get more higher quality appointments, so you only really speak to those that are almost definitely interested in working with you, then I recommend using this strategy. If right now you still don't have lots and lots of appointments, then I recommend just focusing on the warm appointment strategy first. Get that to a level where you're getting a lot of appointments, and then you can move on to the next stage, which is getting hot appointments with people that really, really want to actually work with you. Well, with that out of the way, how do you actually get more hot appointments with prospects that pretty much already want to work with you? Well, to do this, there's two things that you need to do. Number one, you need to get leads and prospects to consume more content. They need to consume more content than just the video sales letter on its own. And then number two, you also need to add more filters to pre-qualify people before they actually speak to you, before they actually book an appointment with you. And you can do that in the form of some kind of survey or something like that. So let's go through how you can do both of those things in more detail right now. And let's start with the first one, which is how do you get people to consume more content? And what kind of content do you need to get people or your leads to consume that will help them be able to turn into that hot prospect, that hot sales appointment with someone that already wants to buy what it is that you sell? Now, interestingly, Google and a few other big companies have created a study where they found that the more content someone consumes before actually reaching out to work with you, the higher the chances are that they will convert into a client. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about that study, you can go to Google and type in the 0 moment of truth, and you'll be able to learn more about how that actually works. But basically, the short version is that the more content someone consumes, the more likely that they will convert into a client. So logically, you know that if someone consumes more content that you give them, there's a higher chance that they will then convert into a client. Now, it doesn't really matter too much what kind of content you send them. It could be video content, written content, a blog post, it could be a podcast, it could be content that you just send them in an email. But that being said, I have found that video content works exceptionally well because people can actually maybe see you or hear you or just have something to visualize what it is that you're saying. So video content is really good, and also content that you send people in your emails is also really good as well. So if you're actually not just selling to people in your emails, but providing them with value and helping them in the emails that you send, in the follow-up emails that you send your leads, then that's going to be very, very effective in helping you build up trust by getting people to consume more and more of your content. And now we move on to the second thing you can do. And the second thing is to add more pre-qualifying filters. So this is something that I only started doing again once I already had pretty much maxed out my calendar with appointments. I wanted to add more filters to make sure, even though I was getting warm appointments, I wanted to get even higher quality appointments. So starting to get appointments with people that are pretty much 80-90% sure that they want to buy what it is that I sell. And you again can do the same thing by adding pre-qualifying filters. So you might be wondering, what kind of pre-qualifying filters do I need to add if I want to get, again, the highest quality sales appointments possible? Well, really, you just need to think about what kind of questions do you need to ask people before you speak to someone to make sure they're going to be a good fit. And again, just as a side note, some people have this pre-qualifying filters or whatever you want to call it. They do this, or they go through this process by having a 15-minute call with them, or they get an assistant or someone to have a 15-minute call with someone first, just to make sure if they're a good fit, and then if they are, then they have the appointment. But I found it's just easier to just have those pre-qualifying questions in the form of a survey on your own website, so they don't need to speak to anyone first. They can just go through the survey, and then if they answer all the questions correctly in that survey, then they can move to the next step and actually book an appointment with you. So what kind of questions do you ask in this survey? So I'm going to go through some of the questions that I ask, just to give you some ideas in terms of what you can ask in your own business. Now, you don't have to ask exactly the same questions that I ask, but this is really just to give you some inspiration and some ideas for what you could ask in your own business to make sure you get the highest quality appointments possible. So the first question I ask is, have you watched the masterclass training that I've recorded? Now, the masterclass training that I've recorded is a free training that's 1 hour long, yes, 1 hour long, which goes through step-by-step how to get predictable leads and appointments. And if you want to see that for yourself, I'll add a link in this video so you can check that out, and I'll add a link in the description below this video so you can sign up for the masterclass and have a look at what it looks like for yourself. But the point is, I want anyone that's interested in working with me to make sure that they've watched that 1 hour long masterclass training before they actually schedule an appointment with me, if they do want to work with me. So why do I do that? Well, if someone hasn't watched that video, they don't really understand what it is that I do, how I can actually help them, and there's a very high chance that they're not really ready to actually buy what it is that I sell. So if they haven't watched that video and they don't really understand what it is that I do, and they say, no, but I haven't watched the masterclass training, I will say, okay, no problem, but you need to watch the masterclass training first. Once you've watched the masterclass training, then you can come back and apply to work with us again. So that's just the first question, the first thing that I want to do to make sure that people are going to be a good fit before they actually have an appointment. Now, sometimes I get people say 1 hour, a 1 hour long video, that's way too long. No one's going to sit through a whole 1 hour video. And that's not true. Many people will sit through a 1 hour video if you can actually solve a big enough problem that they have. So if someone says that they can actually solve a huge problem that you have in your business right now, and all you have to do is watch a 1 hour video, then it's going to be a no-brainer. People will watch that 1 hour video if they truly believe that you can solve a problem that they have. And if they don't watch that video, then it simply means that either the problem that they have is not that big enough, or they don't really believe that you can actually help them solve that problem, so they're not going to waste their time. But if you've already built up trust with them first and they believe you can help them, and then in that video you actually go through how you do solve a genuinely big problem that they have, people will sit through a 1 hour long video that goes through how to solve that problem. So don't worry about the length of time of the video, that's fine. And again, it doesn't have to be an hour, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 5 minutes. The point is you want to give people enough value first before they book an appointment with you, just to make sure they understand very clearly what it is that you do, how you can help them, so that when they get on the sales call with you, they already know most of the questions that they would have otherwise if they hadn't watched that video. So it just really helps them, again, build up trust with what it is that you do and understand your process, so that they're more likely to actually work with you. And then the second question that I ask is, which package are you interested in? Now, I know some people are completely against this, and some people say that you should only talk about pricing once you've had a sales call with someone and you kind of get to the end of the sales call. And everyone's different, and that's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. But again, for me personally, I don't agree with that. I used to actually use that strategy before, going back quite a few years now. But I found it's a lot better just to be completely open and transparent with people. And I actually have my pricing on my website because of that, so that people know how much I charge before they actually book a call with me. And personally, I found that to be a lot more effective and a lot better as well when I'm having sales appointments with people. And then the final question I ask is, when are you looking to start? And then I give people the option to either choose, pretty much straight away, or within the next 30 days, or after 30 days. And if they say after 30 days, then really that's just too far in the future for them to make a decision. So I just say, look, whenever you're ready to start now or relatively soon, then we can schedule another appointment and go through how the whole process works and all that kind of stuff. So again, I want to make sure that anyone I speak to is ready to start right now. And that's why I asked that third question. And then there's a few other questions after that, but that's pretty much the main questions that I ask in terms of pre-qualifying people. I want to make sure that they've already consumed a fair amount of content before booking that call. I also want to make sure that they know how much we charge and they're happy with those prices. And I want to make sure finally that they're ready to start right now. So that's it. That's all you need to do to get the highest quality appointments possible. And hopefully this video gives you some ideas for what you can do so you can get cold, which is what I don't recommend, types of appointments, or warm appointments, which is what I do recommend, or hot appointments, which is the best type of appointments to get, again, which I recommend once you've got a lot of warm appointments. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you. And if you'd like to learn more about this strategy and how it all works and how to actually generate leads, appointments, and all of that kind of stuff in a way that's automated, predictable, profitable for your business, then all you need to do is sign up for the masterclass training that I mentioned earlier in this video. There's a link again in the description which you can use to sign up for that. It's completely free. There's a 1 hour long video where I go through all of this in depth. And I know there's a lot of other masterclass trainings out there on the internet where it's just like one really long sales pitch. This training isn't like that at all. You will get a lot of value from this training, and I will go through everything you need to do step by step. And you'll see that from within the first few minutes of watching the masterclass, you'll see that this is different to a lot of other online free classes and things like that. And you'll see that there's a lot of value in this video so that you can start getting predictable leads and appointments straight away inside of your business. So if you'd like to check out that masterclass training, you can go and click on the link, which will be in the description of this video, or I'll put a link as well somewhere in this video, probably up here, and then you can sign up for that way as well. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.